Welcome to the best real estate exam vocabulary review on the internet. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the key terms and concepts that you need to know in order to pass your real estate exam. It's going to be a little different than what you're used to. We're going to use some brain science. Everyone learns differently, but for vocabulary, there's a proven method.
Recognition and recall. Recall will make you use one part of your brain, and recognition will help ingrain the term further in your memory. We'll start with some flashcards, and after each card and definition, I'll give you a little more context about the term to help you remember it the next time you see it. After we get through 10 flashcards, we'll play a game called Name That Term to help you recall the correct term by filling in the blanks on the screen. Finally, once we're through the terms again, we'll wrap everything up with a quick vocab quiz on the same terms. That'll do it. By the end of this short video, you'll know these vocabulary terms inside and out, and you'll agree this is the best real estate exam vocabulary video on the internet. Let's get started with some flashcards. You'll see the term come up on the screen, and you'll have 10 seconds to come up with the best description you can. Bonus points if you have a pen and paper and write out your answer on paper. Air rights. The right to use open space above a building, usually allowing the surface to be put to other uses, can be leased or sold separately from the property. Air rights refer to the legal rights to use or control the space above a property, including the right to build structures, such as buildings or billboards, that extend into the air above the property. In other words, it's the right to use the airspace above a property that belongs to the owner of the property. Air rights can be a valuable asset in real estate, particularly in densely populated urban areas where there is limited space for development. For example, if a property owner has the air rights to a neighboring property, they may be able to build a taller building that extends above the neighboring property. This can allow for additional usable space and may increase the property's value. In some cases, air rights can be sold or leased separately from the underlying property, allowing a property owner to generate additional income. However, the use of air rights is subject to zoning laws and other regulations, which can vary by location. Alienation clause. A provision in a contract that prevents a party from assigning or transferring their interest in the contract. In real estate, it's the clause in a mortgage stating that the balance of the loan becomes immediately due and payable if the property is sold or otherwise transferred. This clause prevents sellers from transferring loans to parties that the bank has not vetted or may not approve. An alienation clause, also known as a due-on-sale clause, is a provision in a mortgage or other loan agreement that gives the lender the right to demand full payment of the outstanding loan balance if the borrower sells or transfers the property to another party. The purpose of an alienation clause is to protect the lender's interests in the property and to ensure that they have control over who is responsible for repaying the loan. If the property is sold or transferred without the lender's consent, the lender may view this as a breach of the loan agreement and may call the loan due immediately. For example, if a homeowner has a mortgage on their property and they sell the property to a new owner, the lender may invoke the alienation clause and require the full repayment of the mortgage before the property can be transferred to the new owner. The new owner would then need to secure their own financing to purchase the property. Appraiser. A licensed professional who provides an opinion on the value of real estate based on professional knowledge of the market, required for transactions using bank financing. An appraiser is a professional who is trained and licensed to estimate the value of a property, such as a home, commercial building, or piece of land. Appraisers use a combination of objective data and professional judgment to determine the fair market value of a property, taking into account a variety of factors such as location, size, condition, and comparable sales in the area. Appraisers play a critical role in many real estate transactions, as lenders, buyers, and sellers rely on their expertise to determine the appropriate value of a property for purposes such as mortgage financing, refinancing, property tax assessments, or estate planning. In addition, appraisers may also be called upon to provide expert testimony in legal proceedings, such as divorce or eminent domain cases. To become an appraiser, an individual must typically complete a state-approved training program, pass a qualifying exam, and meet additional requirements such as obtaining a certain number of hours of experience under the supervision of a licensed appraiser. In addition, appraisers are subject to various professional and ethical standards, including the Uniform Standards of Professional Appraisal Practice. Real estate professionals, including agents, brokers, and attorneys, may work closely with appraisers to ensure that the appraisal process is conducted in a legally sound and transparent manner, and that the resulting valuation accurately reflects the value of the property. By working together with qualified professionals, buyers and sellers can help ensure that their transactions are conducted in accordance with legal and ethical standards, and that their legal and financial interests are protected. Appreciation. Increase in value of a property over time. Appreciation is an increase in the value of a property over time. This can be due to a variety of factors, such as improvements to the property or changes in the local real estate market. When a property appreciates, its value increases, which can be beneficial to property owners who may be looking to sell or refinance in the future. For example, if a homeowner purchased a property for $250,000 and its value increased to $300,000 over a few years, the property has appreciated by $50,000. This increase in value may allow the homeowner to sell the property for a profit or refinance at a better interest rate. However, it's important to keep in mind that property values can also decrease, leading to a loss of value or negative equity. Assessment. A formal process where a government official determines the taxable value of a property. Assessment is the process of determining the value of a property for tax purposes. This is typically done by a local government agency or an assessor who evaluates the property's features, location, and other factors to determine its value. The assessed value of a property is used to determine the amount of property taxes the owner must pay. For example, if a homeowner's property is assessed at $300,000 and the tax rate is 1%, they would owe $3,000 in property taxes for the year. It's worth noting that the assessed value of a property may not always reflect its market value, which is the price the property would sell for in the current market. Real estate professionals should be aware of the assessment process and its implications for property owners. Buyers should also be aware of the assessed value of a property they are considering purchasing, as it will impact their future tax liability. Benchmark. A reference point or permanent location against which something can be compared or measured, often used on the real estate exam relating to legal descriptions of properties and surveys. In real estate, a benchmark can refer to a location reference point used in surveying and mapping to establish elevations and boundaries of a property. A benchmark is typically a physical point or marker that is used as a reference for determining the elevation of a property or for marking property boundaries. For example, a surveyor may use a benchmark such as a brass disc set in concrete to establish the elevation of a property, which can be important for determining the slope of the land or for ensuring that the property is properly graded for drainage. Real estate professionals, particularly those involved in surveying and mapping, should be familiar with benchmarks and their use in establishing property boundaries and elevations. This knowledge can help ensure that properties are accurately described and that any potential boundary disputes are resolved. Beneficiary. Someone who receives something on someone else's death. In real estate, a beneficiary is a person or entity that receives benefits from a trust or other legal arrangement. The term is often used in the context of a mortgage, where the beneficiary is the lender who holds a security interest in the property. For example, if a homeowner takes out a mortgage to purchase a property, the lender becomes the beneficiary of the mortgage. The lender holds a security interest in the property and has the right to foreclose on the property if the homeowner fails to make payments on the mortgage. The term beneficiary can also be used in the context of a trust, where it refers to the person or entity that receives the assets held in the trust. Real estate may be held in a trust for the benefit of one or more beneficiaries, who may receive income from the property or may inherit the property at a later date. Real estate professionals should be aware of the term beneficiary and its use in legal arrangements such as mortgages and trusts. This knowledge can help ensure that transactions are conducted in accordance with applicable laws and regulations. Bundle of rights. The rights that a property owner has to use, possess, and transfer their property. In real estate, the bundle of rights is a concept that refers to the various legal rights that a property owner has over their property. These rights include the right to possess, use, transfer, encumber, and exclude others from the property. Possession refers to the right of the property owner to physically occupy and control the property. Use refers to the right of the property owner to utilize the property in any way that is legal and permitted under applicable laws and regulations. Transfer refers to the right of the property owner to sell, give away, or otherwise dispose of the property. Encumber refers to the right of the property owner to place liens or mortgages on the property as collateral for loans. Exclude refers to the right of the property owner to keep others off the property. The bundle of rights concept is important in real estate because it defines the scope of a property owner's legal rights over their property. It also informs the laws and regulations that govern property ownership and use. Real estate professionals should be familiar with the bundle of rights concept and its implications for property ownership and transactions. Chattel mortgage. A type of loan used for personal property. A chattel mortgage is a type of mortgage that is used to finance the purchase of movable personal property, such as a car, boat, or mobile home. With a chattel mortgage, the lender holds a security interest in the property until the loan is repaid in full. If the borrower defaults on the loan, the lender may repossess the property and sell it to recover the outstanding debt. Unlike a traditional mortgage, which is used to finance the purchase of real property, a chattel mortgage is used to finance personal property. The lender typically requires the borrower to provide a down payment, and the remaining balance is repaid over a set period of time, typically with interest. Real estate professionals may encounter chattel mortgages in the context of mobile homes or other movable property that is used as a primary residence. It's important to be familiar with the terms and requirements of chattel mortgages, as they can have significant implications for property ownership and financing. Okay, now that we're done with the flashcards, we're going to play Name That Term. In this game, you're going to fill in the blank with the correct term from what we've just learned. All the terms are the same as the flashcard round. You'll have 20 seconds to come up with your answer. Let's get started. The right to use open space above a building, usually allowing the surface to be put to other uses, can be leased or sold separately from the property. When a developer needs to build on top of a train track, he must buy or lease the from the owner of the land below. The term is air rights. When a developer needs to build on top of a train track, he must buy or lease the air rights from the owner of the land below the tracks. Any provision in a contract that prevents a party from assigning or transferring their interest in the contract. In real estate, it's the clause in a mortgage stating that the balance of the loan becomes immediately due and payable if the property is sold or otherwise transferred. This clause prevents sellers from transferring loans to parties that the bank has not vetted or may not approve. Prevents us from letting the investor assume the mortgage, so they'll have to qualify based on their own financial merit. The term is alienation clause. The alienation clause prevents us from letting the investor assume the mortgage, so they'll have to qualify based on their own financial merit. A licensed professional who provides an opinion on the value of real estate based on professional knowledge of the market. Required for transactions using bank financing. I would like to hire a local who knows this market to ensure we don't get the wrong value on the report. Appraiser is the term. I would like to hire a local appraiser who knows this market to ensure we don't get the wrong value on the report. Increase in value of a property over time. I have been watching my investments steadily over the past few years. Appreciation or appreciate is the term here. I have been watching my investment appreciate steadily over the past few years. A formal process where a government official determines the taxable value of a property. The county tax assessor determined the value of the property was $1 million, which was higher than the previous. This term is assessment. The county tax assessor determined the value of the property was $1 million, which was higher than the previous assessment. A reference point or permanent location against which something can be compared or measured, often used on the real estate exam relating to legal descriptions of properties and surveys. I'm going to document this property as 0.5 miles from City Hall, which is the local. Benchmark is the term. I'm going to document this property as 0.5 miles from City Hall, which is the local benchmark. Someone who receives something on someone else's death. I am the of my mother's life insurance policy. Beneficiary is the correct term on this one. I am the beneficiary of my mother's life insurance policy. The rights that a property owner has to use, possess, and transfer their property. This includes the right to use, possess, and transfer property. The term is bundle of rights. The bundle of rights includes the right to use, possess, and transfer property. A type of loan used for personal property. Jeff took out for all of the new machines they need to expand the construction business. The term is chattel mortgage. Jeff took out a chattel mortgage for all of the new machines they need to expand the construction business. Well, we've come full circle, and it's time to test your knowledge. If you score 8 out of 10 or better, you can move on, feeling confident that you've got these terms down. Score 7 or less, and here's what to do. Restart this video, but crank up the watch speed to 1.75 or 2x. Speed watch the first 2 sections, and then come back to take the test again. You'll pick up a couple points, and most importantly, you'll get some extra repetitions in, which is really the key to retaining the vocabulary terms you need for the exam. Alright, enough preamble, let's get to the test. A friable substance containing fibers that can cause cancer if inhaled or ingested and must be removed with special care to prevent illness. It was outlawed in 1978 but used heavily beforehand due to its excellent insulation and fire prevention qualities. ABH. Rheaformaldehyde. Mesothelioma siding. Asbestos. The correct answer is asbestos. The right to use open space above a building, usually allowing the surface to be put to other uses, can be leased or sold separately from the property. Roof rights. Ground lease. Air rights. Air lease. The correct answer is air rights. Any provision in a contract that prevents a party from assigning or transferring their interest in the contract. In real estate, it's the clause in a mortgage stating that the balance of the loan becomes immediately due and payable if the property is sold or otherwise transferred. This clause prevents sellers from transferring loans to parties that the bank has not vetted or may not approve. Owner financing. Immigration protection loan. Acceleration clause. Alienation clause. The correct answer is alienation clause. A licensed professional who provides an opinion on the value of real estate based on professional knowledge of the market, required for transactions using bank financing. Assessor. Appraiser. Real estate agent. Realtor. Appraiser is the correct answer here. An increase in value of a property over time. Depreciation. Bull market. Appraisal. Appreciation. The correct answer is appreciation. A formal process where a government official determines the taxable value of a property. Appraisal. CMA. Assessment. BPO. The correct answer here is assessment. A reference point or permanent location against which something can be compared or measured, often used on the real estate exam relating to legal descriptions of properties and surveys. Placeholder. Benchmark. Mile marker. Bench hold. Benchmark is the correct answer. Someone who receives something on someone else's death. Reservoir. Gold digger. Benchmark. Beneficiary. Beneficiary is the correct answer. The rights that a property owner has to use, possess, and transfer their property. Spindle of rights. Estate rights. Servient rights. Bundle of rights. The correct answer is bundle of rights. A type of loan used for personal property. FHA loan. Channel loan. Chattel mortgage. VA mortgage. The correct answer is chattel mortgage.
How'd you do? 80% or better? If not, you know what to do. Thanks for watching the first episode of the best real estate exam vocabulary review on the internet. We have more to come and lots more free questions and videos on our playlists. Subscribe and you'll always know what's coming next. Thanks for watching.